Talk about a crusher. Yes! Oh!
Are you kidding me?
And gone.
Welcome back to the Schoolyard Sports Podcast. I'm this podcast Lane Frank. This is episode number 95. Episode number 95 on the road. Got a lot of action coming at you. NBA, MLB playoffs, college football, so much more. Stay tuned for an action-packed episode number 95. Let's hop into it. Let's start with episode 95, how we always do, with the headlines in the NBA. First thing I want to talk about in the NBA right here is the Draymond Green situation. He strikes Jordan Poole in practice. What are you doing, Draymond Green? Is that a little Michigan State on Michigan thing going on there? Probably not. That'd be cool to see as a Michigan fan. Obviously, Jordan Poole, in my opinion right now, is the better player than Draymond Green. Draymond Green brings the leadership aspect. Jordan Poole brings the youth aspect, the better player aspect. But Draymond Green can dish the ball out well. Jordan Poole can do that also, though. So yeah, it's just an interesting scenario to me right here. Do you think Draymond Green stays with the Warriors after the season? There's always the talk of Draymond Green to the Lakers, Draymond Green to them. I mean, maybe Steve Kerr doesn't want Draymond Green on the Warriors anymore. Maybe he's going the younger player, Jordan Poole's side right here. Interesting stuff. I'm a little bit concerned for the Warriors after the situation. It can divide some teams. Jordan Poole apparently still upset Draymond Green. Draymond Green says, all right, I'm going to take a leave of absence and we'll see what happens. But interesting to me right there. What are your thoughts on the Draymond Green, Jordan Poole situation? Leave your answer in the comment section. Next thing I want to talk about in the NBA headlines is Victor Wembanyama, everybody. If you don't know who Victor Wembanyama is, he's the best prospect since LeBron James. Let me rephrase that. He's the best prospect of all time. LeBron James was the best prospect of all time, and now it's Victor Wembanyama. He showed out against Scoot Henderson. Scoot Henderson last year would have gone number one. Year before would have gone number one. Year before probably would have gone number one. Probably not the Zion year. But Scoot Henderson is an outstanding basketball player. He's on the G League Ignite right now, but he doesn't bring the physical tools that Victor Wembanyama brings. If you get Scoot Henderson, that's no consolation prize. He's amazing. But Victor Wembanyama is the biggest prize. He's the biggest NBA target of all time, in my opinion. The 7'4" European, Victor Wembanyama, greatest NBA draft prospect of all time. Is it the next Hashim Thabit or is it the next Kevin Durant? Leave your answer in the comment section. Victor Wembanyama, outstanding. Let's move over to the MLB. We had a bunch of news in playoffs. First thing I'm going to talk about in MLB right here is my New York Mets, everybody. I don't want to do a whole segment on this. I want to do this right here. It's tough, obviously. 101 wins, amazing regular season, comes down to the end. The thing that stings me the most as a Mets fan about losing to the Padres is how amazing this season was. Remembering all the good moments. Oh, yeah, that Max Scherzer amazing start early in the season against the Phillies. Max Scherzer amazing start against the Giants. Oh, when Edwin Diaz came in to lock down the no-hitter. When Edwin Diaz came in to lock down the game against the Yankees. When Eduardo Escobar got that walk-off hit against the Phillies. When Eduardo Escobar got another walk-off hit. When Lindor played great. When Pete had those walk-off home runs. When Jacob deGrom came back and played great. When his team was the best team in MLB at one point, in my opinion. And we were beating up the Dodgers in 2 series. The thing that hurts the most was the Braves. The Atlanta Braves, everybody stunned the New York Mets. We had lead over them pretty much the whole season, but the thing that hurt them the most was having 19 games against the Braves going into August. 19 games left against the Braves going into August. And they played pretty well in the series in New York. Then they had 2 series in Atlanta. They obviously weren't great. The thing that hurt the Mets the most was the infusion of youth that the Braves had. The Braves had Michael Harris, Spencer Strider. These guys came alive. They had Austin Riley, obviously. Matt Olson, I know he's no rookie, but he's still young. Mets didn't really have that. They had the veterans like Eduardo Escobar, who got hurt. Luis Guillorme, who got hurt. Pete Alonso didn't really get hurt, but Starling Marte obviously broke his finger. These guys weren't as durable as we thought they were. Max Scherzer missed 10 starts this year. Jacob deGrom obviously missed a few starts. At least, actually, most of his starts going into the season. Got that injury, then didn't play until August. So yeah, it's really tough as a Mets fan right now. I kind of expected this going into the playoffs because I was like, all right, the Padres, in 6 games against the Padres, we've had 2 wins. One on Eduardo Escobar cycle, and then one in Daniel Vogelback's first games in New York Met. Yeah, it just wasn't great. Got locked down by Yu Darvish in game 1. Obviously, Max Scherzer pitched the worst game of his life, I would say. In the playoffs, worst game of his life. Second pitcher ever to give up that many home runs and runs in a playoff game. And we're talking about Max Scherzer as one of the greatest pitchers of all time. Tough stuff as a New York Mets fan. It really stunned me, everybody. I'm really upset as a New York Mets fan. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Hopefully the Mets can get back next year to the playoffs, but this was the year, everybody. Lindor, Alonso, Marte, Escobar, Nimmo, McNeil, DeGrom, Scherzer, Bassett, Diaz. All those names I just said, I don't know how many of them are back next year. Tough stuff as a New York Mets fan. Let's move to a happy note in MLB. The Cleveland Guardians, everybody. They got the name change over the offseason, and they're playing great, everybody. The Cleveland Guardians are amazing this season, and they just won their playoff series against Tampa Bay Rays in one of the most interesting playoff games of all time. Went 15 innings until Oscar Gonzalez said, "See ya, I'm going yard." And we're winning this game, and we're heading on to the ALDS against New York Yankees. That's what he did. Rookie Oscar Gonzalez goes yard in the 15th inning in a scoreless bout. What a series that was by both teams. Pitching by Shane McClanahan, game one, almost impeccable. Only gave up 2 runs. 2 runs was the deciding factor. Jose Siri, only run they had this whole entire series, it was a home run. Jose Siri, game one, Rays, slow shot home run. That's the only run they had the whole entire series. Jose Ramirez had a home run in that game. 2-run blast. I got them leading that series. And then going to game 2, Tyler Glasnow pitched a gem. So did Shane Bieber in game 1, and so they're pitching in game 2. So yeah, tough stuff. The Tampa Bay Rays, but amazing stuff. The Cleveland Guardians advancing to the ALDS against the New York Yankees, which I'm going to pick later on in the episode. Another team in the AL that won is the Blue Jays, everybody. Interesting stuff. Another team that actually lost in the AL wildcard, Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto Blue Jays lost to the Seattle Mariners. Seattle Mariners, it's been a long time coming, everybody. Long time coming. Haven't made the playoffs in so many years. It's been the longest playoff drought ever until this season, I think, and at least active. Then they make the playoffs. Then J.P. Crawford delivers in Toronto. Then everybody delivers in Toronto. This was a very, very good team, well-rounded team. You got the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. He's a good catcher. This is a good team, in my opinion. Seattle Mariners, they have a chance to knock off the Houston Astros. They're winning in game 1 right now at the time of this recording. Interesting stuff. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think the Seattle Mariners can go far in the playoffs? That's about for the AL side of the playoff bracket. Now, the NL side, I already talked about the Mets. The St. Louis Cardinals, everybody. This was an amazing team. I really thought they had a chance to win the World Series. They were really well-rounded. They had good pitching with Jordan Montgomery, a couple other pitchers on that staff. You have a good reliever in Jordan Hicks. You have a great closer in Ryan Helsley, where he absolutely blew the series for them, at least in game 1. You have a 2-run lead in game 1. You turn to the second-best closer in baseball, arguably, behind Edwin Diaz. What does he do? He gives up 6 runs for you. That's terrible stuff right there. You rely on your top 2 MVP candidates in the NL right now are Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado. Paul Goldschmidt's going to win it, and Nolan Arenado's going to come in second. Combined, those guys had 1 hit in the series. Paul Goldschmidt, I don't think he had a hit. Nolan Arenado only had 1. That's disgusting stuff right there. Nolan Arenado can opt out this offseason, so it's over for that, him probably. Paul Goldschmidt, you don't know how good he's going to be next year. Yadier Molina is retiring. Albert Pujols is retiring. Adam Wainwright might retire. Interesting stuff by the St. Louis Cardinals. The dream run ends. Oliver Marmol doesn't win his first playoff series. Happened last year. I mean, coaching change isn't going to change it. Manager change isn't going to change it. They made the playoffs last year, lost in the wild card to the Dodgers. Like I said, manager change won't change things. Let's move to NFL. We had an action-packed week 5. Matt Rule started his Monday with a terrible way to do it. He woke up, he said, all right, I just got called into the office. Let's see what this is about. Oh, I'm fired. Yeah, Matt Rule is fired by the Carolina Panthers. Interesting stuff, in my opinion. Matt Rule, does he deserve to be fired this early in the season? I don't know. Maybe they could turn things around, but Baker Mayfield is hurt. I think always for an NFL team, the best thing is to fire a coach after the season. You never know what can happen mid-season. Unless your team is a contender, you think they're a contender, and you really think that they should be fired, or else something else happens. I think just stick it out with your NFL coach. College football, it's different because you got recruiting and all that stuff. But for NFL, just ride it out until the end of the regular season, then fire them, in my opinion. Don't change your whole entire personnel that early on in the season. But yeah, for college football, gotta get them done early, recruiting, all that stuff, get on the coaching trail, everything like that. Matt Rule started his Monday morning getting fired. We're going to talk about it later on the episode of Matt Rule, but yeah, he's fired. No longer the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. Steve Wilkes will be their interim head coach, former Arizona Cardinals head coach, one of the shortest tenured head coaches in NFL history. Fired after 1 season, fired with Josh Rosen. You could say Josh Rosen left after 1 year with the Arizona Cardinals, went to the Miami Dolphins. So did Steve Wilkes. So yeah, interesting stuff always with Josh Rosen. That's the saga we always love to talk about. But Indianapolis Colts, everybody, what a game. Interesting game that was on Thursday Night Football. Not a fun game to watch whatsoever. It was very, very interesting to say the least, though. Russell Wilson played maybe the worst game of his life. Terrible game by Russell Wilson. And it's been like that for many, many weeks now. Week 1, terrible game. Week 2, not so good of a game. They squeak a win. Week 3, they barely beat the 49ers, who were pretty lousy at the time. Week 4, they lose. So yeah, week 4, they lose to the Raiders, who were winless at the time. Week 5, you lose to the Colts. This is really bad stuff right here. Melvin Gordon keeps on fumbling. Jerry Jeudy had a few good catches, but like I said, they can't get open. Not getting enough separation. Russell Wilson can't find them. KJ Hamler wide open on that final play. Who's he throw it to? He must have thought like Malcolm Butler was there or something. Come on, Russell Wilson. Fix that stuff up. I know he's a little bit injured, had a procedure Friday morning, but yeah, fix that stuff up, Russell Wilson. Interesting stuff in that Colts-Broncos game. Dolphins, everybody, they're in a huge QB predicament right now. Is Tua Tagovailoa back next week? I'm not 1,000% sure, but if he isn't back next week, I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is back. You have to go to Skylar Thompson again. Skylar Thompson. He was no amazing college football quarterback. I would rather have like JT Barrett on my roster at this point, a good college football quarterback, over Skylar Thompson, who barely even played quarterback at Kansas State. That's my thing right there. Skylar Thompson wasn't the best quarterback at all at Kansas State. Not even a good quarterback, I would say. Was really hurt always. They got a good quarterback now, Adrian Martinez. But yeah, Skylar Thompson definitely did not show out in his NFL debut against the New York Jets. Good for the New York Jets, everybody. Good for Zach Wilson getting a good win. I think it's their third win of the season. They're 3-2. They're rolling right now. They beat the Steelers. They beat the Browns. Now they beat the Dolphins. Dolphins are sitting at 3-2 right now. Where at one point, they had the best record in the NFL. Interesting stuff right there. Mike McDaniel, get your stuff together. Cowboys, everybody. Who are they rolling with Cooper Rush at quarterback? 4-1. 4 straight wins with Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush, 5-0 as a starting quarterback. This is interesting stuff right here. This is amazing to see by Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush, he came from Central Michigan. He had all the Hail Marys. He had 2 complete Hail Marys in his college football career. He went to the Dallas Cowboys. Nobody really thought much of it. Stayed with the Cowboys until 2019. Then 2020, they cut him. He went to the New York Giants. They cut him. Comes back in 2021. Gets to start against the Vikings. Plays pretty well in that start. They get the win. Comes back this year. Starts 4 games for them. And goes 4-0. What's the situation if Dak Prescott comes back? What's the situation? Leave it down in the comment section. Do you think Cooper Rush could ever sustain this? Do you think he can be the Dallas Cowboys starting quarterback? Leave your answer in the comment section. Cooper Rush, great stuff by the Cowboys. Now, my New York Giants, everybody, also great stuff. Playing in London. I didn't even pick the Giants to win this game. I wish I did, though. Daniel Jones playing great, playing poised football. Saquon Barkley, looking like rookie season Saquon Barkley. Looking like 2017 Penn State running back Saquon Barkley. They're playing great right now in New York Giants. I am so happy to see it. Go Giants. Go Big Blue. Giants got a good win on Sunday morning against Green Bay Packers. Now, the Saints, everybody. Saints got a great win against the Seattle Seahawks. That was an interesting game, to say the least. Kenneth Walker had a great touchdown. 60 yards, broke off his first career touchdown. Geno Smith still lining things up. He said, they wrote me off. I didn't write back, though. He's not writing back still. Geno Smith still in talks for MVP. I know it's very early on in the season, but yeah, leading the NFL in completion percentage. Leave your thoughts in the comment section on Geno Smith and Seattle Seahawks. New Orleans Saints, though, got the win. Taysom Hill, 4 touchdowns, 1 passing, 3 rushing. Andy Dalton played well enough, managed the game well. I think James Winston's going to be back next week. They played well with Alvin Kamara, his first game back since his injury. So yeah, New Orleans Saints rolling right now. They're NFC South rival right now, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You could also say they're rolling. But it was an interesting win, to say the least, against the Atlanta Falcons. Grady Jarrett got an amazing sack on Tom Brady on 3rd down. Boom, we're getting the ball back. Marcus Mariota's going to have a chance to win the game. Flag, roughing the passer. Watching that, I said, that is the worst roughing the passer call I've ever seen. But then I saw the one on Monday Night Football, and I said, oh, no. That's the worst roughing the passer call of all time. Even Derek Carr laughed, saying, yeah, I don't know how that was roughing the passer. NFL, clean up your stuff. Clean up your roughing the passer rules. A sack should not be roughing the passer. I don't care how hard that defensive lineman throws your quarterback. It's a sack. If it's a late hit, it's roughing the passer. If he sacks you, it's a sack. That's my opinion on that roughing the passer rule, but I'm not an NFL quarterback. I'm not taking these hits. I can't say much. Jacksonville Jaguars. I said they had an identity. I said they were a good team. Now they go out and lose to the Houston Texans. Houston Texans, congratulations. You get your first one of the season. Dameon Pierce, rookie out of Florida, running the ball well for them and running the ball well. My fantasy football team. Thank you, Dameon Pierce. Jaguars, get your stuff together. Eagles, everybody. Eagles rolling right now. 5-0. Matt Amendola misses his 2nd game winner of the year. 1 for the Chiefs against the Colts and 1 for the Cardinals against the Eagles. Matt Amendola, not a good kicker. Probably going to get cut. But Eagles, everybody. Eagles are playing well. Cameron Dicker, you could say, as Gus Johnson said in the 2018 Red River Showdown, which we're going to talk about later, that happened this year. Red River Showdown 2018, Cameron Dicker, freshman, nails a 45-yard kick to beat Oklahoma. What does he do this weekend against the Arizona Cardinals? Jake Elliott's hurt. They have to call up Cameron Dicker, the kicker, and he nails one to get the lead, 20-17, and then Matt Amendola misses one. Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, similar play styles. Both went to Oklahoma. Both under that Cliff Kingsbury type of offense, I guess you could say. Both under that Lincoln Riley offense. So yeah, Eagles got a good win, though. Cardinals, sitting at 2-3 right now. Not good stuff. They need to figure things out right now, the Cardinals. But Eagles, good team. Best team in the NFL. 5-0. Eagles. Ravens, everybody. Justin Tucker, greatest kicker of all time. I know we're talking about a lot about kickers right now, but yeah, Justin Tucker, greatest kicker of all time. It showed right there on Sunday Night Football. Beating the Bengals, one of the most perfect kicks in NFL history. We're going to talk about that later. Did you know? But Justin Tucker and the Ravens got a win on Sunday Night Football. Lamar and the Ravens rolling. Now, to the Chiefs, everybody. Chiefs on Monday Night Football. What an interesting game that was. Travis Kelce, thank you. 33 points. 4 touchdowns. Fantasy football owner, Travis Kelce. I was down 31 points going into the night. He gets me 33. Off of 25 yards. If you told me before the game, Travis Kelce would win me that game off of only 25 yards, I'd say thank you, Pat Mahomes. He fed him at the goal line. 4 touchdowns. Amazing stuff right there. Amazing stuff. That's about it for the headlines. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, Schoolyard Sports NFL Game Day. We weren't perfect with our picks last week on Schoolyard Sports NFL Game Day. We're going to be perfect with our picks this week. Let's hop into it. Schoolyard Sports NFL Game Day. You know our role. Pick some of the best games in NFL. We're going to get a perfect record. Let's hop into it. Vikings versus Dolphins. Vikings are favored right now. I don't know if Skylar Thompson's going to start this game. If Tua starts this game, the Dolphins win. If Tua doesn't start this game, the Vikings win. So you can quote me on that. I say if Tua starts this game, they win. If he doesn't, give me the Vikings in this one. But I think Tua could be a game changer in this one. Give me the Dolphins over the Vikings if Tua plays. Cowboys versus Eagles. This is an interesting game right here. Eagles 5-0. Cowboys 4-1. It's going to be such an awesome game to see. But I think the Eagles come out on top. Eagles, in my opinion, are the best team in the NFL. Cooper Rush's amazing legacy ends right here. And they go back to Dak Prescott, quarterback next week. Is that the right move? I can't tell you for certain. But Dak Prescott is a good quarterback still. Capable quarterback. So is Cooper Rush. Maybe a little bit more capable Dak Prescott is than Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush has just managed the game so well so far. But going into that fourth quarter against the Rams, I know they won the game. He only had 90 yards. That's not amazing stuff. Dak Prescott would have more than 90 yards in that game. So yeah, in my opinion, Dak Prescott is a better quarterback than Cooper Rush, and I think the Eagles come out on top in this one in Cooper Rush's last start this season for the Cowboys. Patriots versus Browns. Going into the season, I said the Patriots win this game. I think Bailey Zappi might even start this game again. Great last week, Bailey Zappi, against the Lions. I think he starts again in this one. If not, Mac Jones will still be ready to go. Whoever starts this game for the Patriots, I got them win this one over the Browns. Keep it rolling. Give me the Patriots. Jets versus Packers. Jets, Zach Wilson, they've been playing amazing as of late. Packers have been playing very good as of late. But I think the Packers match up way better with the Jets than they do with the Giants. Jets like to run the lot. I think the Packers can stop that. I think Rashawn Gary can stop that run. I don't think they have as good of a defense as the Giants do. So I think Aaron Rodgers and the Packers play pretty well in this one. They let that one slip, the Packers. They had a very large lead in that game, and they let it all slip. So give me the Packers over the Jets in this one. Bengals versus Saints. It's Joe Burrow's homecoming, everybody. He's coming home to the Bayou. He's coming home to New Orleans. You better bet that there's going to be so many Joe Burrow LSU jerseys in the stands. But I think the Bengals win this one. Saints, I know they got a good win last week, but the uncertainty at quarterback. Is it Taysom Hill? Is it Andy Dalton? Is it Jameis Winston? We don't know yet. Michael Thomas is going to be out in this one. I get the Bengals over the Saints. Reigning Super Bowl runner-ups get a win over the Saints. Bounce back after a tough loss last week to the Ravens. Ravens versus Giants, everybody. It's going to be an interesting game. Giants obviously beat the Packers last week, but I think the Ravens are just one of the best teams in the NFL. Maybe the second best team in the NFL. My preseason Super Bowl pick, I got the Ravens winning this one over to the New York Giants. I'm not going to be biased, everybody. I'm picking Baltimore Ravens. Cardinals versus Seahawks. Cardinals are a good team, so are the Seahawks. Same record. One of them's got moved 2-4 on the season. I think it's going to be the Seahawks. I hate to see Geno Smith play bad in this one, but I think he plays bad in this one. Cliff Kingsbury and the Cardinals roll in the desert. Give me the Cardinals over the Seahawks. Broncos versus Chargers. Chargers have been playing pretty well as of late. Brandon Staley, you can question his game decision last week against the Browns. They still got the win. Cade York missed the game-tying field. So they still got the win, the Chargers. I think Chargers win again this week over the Denver Broncos. I think next week is when the Broncos start getting things going. If not, the wheels fall off from there. Wheels fall off from there if the Broncos lose this week and next week. But I think if they lose this week, they get things going back on track next week, week after that, maybe a week after that, maybe until the rest of the season, the Broncos play well. But yeah, I got the Chargers winning this one over the Broncos. Last game and the best game of the week by far, Bills versus Chiefs. Pat Mahomes rolls in this one. Pat Mahomes has been playing so well as of late. They got one loss to the Colts. It's because Pat Mahomes didn't play very well. Bills defense, shaky as of late. Bills played great last week against the Steelers, but it's the Steelers. It's not a hard-fought Steelers team like we've seen in the past. I got the Chiefs winning this one over the Bills. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. That's about for Schoolyard Sports Game Day. Now, top 5, everybody. This week's top 5 is my top 5 NBA teams heading into the 2022-2023 NBA season. Let's hop into it. Next week will be my preseason, all awards, everything like that for the NBA. But this week, I'm doing my top 5 teams in the NBA. Let's hop into it. Number 5, Milwaukee Bucks, everybody. They're a great team. I just don't know how much better this team got from last season. They're still a good team. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, George Hill. They're still a good team. Drew Holiday. But I don't know how much better they got from that championship season. They lost in the second round last year. I don't know how much better they got. Leave your answer in the comment section if you think the Bucks got a lot better. Number 5, Milwaukee Bucks. Number 4, the Brooklyn Nets, everybody. Brooklyn Nets, solid squad still. Ben Simmons coming back. Kevin Durant's coming back. Kyrie Irving's coming back. If this trio can play 70-plus games this season, this team's going to win the East. I don't think they play 70-plus games together this season. I really don't. So Brooklyn Nets, number 4. Number 3, the Memphis Grizzlies, everybody. I know Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to be out for a little bit, but it's still a good team. Memphis Grizzlies got John Morant, MVP candidate. Desmond Bane, one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA. This is just a good team, in my opinion. Memphis Grizzlies, number 3. Steve Nash coming back. They got a look at good talent. Memphis Grizzlies, number 3. Number 2, the Philadelphia 76ers, everybody. It's a great squad. James Harden, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris. They really didn't lose much talent over the offseason, and they gained a lot of talent. Second best team in the NBA, Philadelphia 76ers. And number 1, it has to be the Golden State Warriors, everybody. They won the NBA championship. It has to be them. Number 1, Golden State Warriors. That's probably for my top 5. Leave your answer in the comment section. If you think my top 5 is good, leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, Schoolyard Sports Scream. You might wonder who I'm screaming on this week. This week, I'm screaming on the one and only Aaron Rodgers. The reason why I'm screaming on Aaron Rodgers is not because the Packers have a pretty bad record. It's because the Raiders have such a bad record at 1-4. Devontae Adams obviously doesn't have that pure Aaron Rodgers connection like Derek Carr. I know he has 2 touchdowns Monday Night Football, but the miscommunication off the third down play. Devontae Adams, get your feet in bounds. Control the ball. I'm not an NFL wide receiver. I'm not doing Devontae Adams. I'm not trying to throw anything out there, but yeah, interesting stuff. Aaron Rodgers has been horrible on deep passes at Devontae Adams. He's been terrible. It's all your fault, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers wanted more money. He brought this whole 2-year-long saga with us of, I'm holding out, I'm not going to training camp. Shows up at training camp. Oh, this is my last year with the Packers. Comes back to the Packers, gets a massive contract. Devontae Adams leaves. He was done. He was done putting up with Aaron Rodgers' drama. Done with it. Interesting stuff right here. Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams. I'm screaming on you, Aaron Rodgers. All on you. What's shorter? Schoolyard Sports screams. Well, I'm screaming on you, Aaron Rodgers. All your fault. What Devontae Adams and you were doing terrible. All your fault. Packers won't win the Super Bowl next year. Won't win a Super Bowl under Aaron Rodgers again. Bookmark it. Check it. That's my Schoolyard Sports scream. Now, didn't know everybody. This week's Didn't Know is, did you know Justin Tucker, a.k.a. the kicking cyborg, his game-winning kick on Sunday Night Football was one of the most perfect kicks in NFL history. A full yard. A full yard it would have gone through. If the goalpost was just 1 yard wide, it still would have gone through. Goalpost, I don't know how many yards it is wide, but it's pretty lengthy. If it was only 1 yard wide, Justin Tucker still would have made that game-winning kick. That's fascinating to me right there. If the goalpost was 1 yard wide, Justin Tucker would have made it. That shows that it was extremely down the line, perfect down the pipe, perfect kick by Justin Tucker in my eyes, perfect kick. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think Justin Tucker is the greatest kicker of all time? Do you think Justin Tucker deserves to be in the Hall of Fame? I certainly do. Leave your answer in the comment section. Now here's a segment I'm hyped for right here. The Victor Wembanyama Spotlight, who I said in the headlines was the greatest prospect in NBA history, in basketball history. Over Michael Jordan, over LeBron James, over Zion Williamson, over Tim Duncan, over Kevin Durant, over any of these guys. Victor Wembanyama is the greatest prospect of all time. The physical tools, you can't deny. 7'4", playing the power forward position. I don't think he's a true center. He's a power forward at heart. When he was 16 years old, there's a video of him beating up on Rudy Gobert in the paint, absolutely crushing him in a one-on-one. And there's a picture of him standing next to Rudy Gobert. He mountains over him, even though he's only 2 inches taller. Victor Wembanyama is the greatest prospect of all time. He can nail down a three. He can run the point at 7'4". He could be the next Kevin Durant. But I'd like to compare him to Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, kind of a shyer guy, great post player. That's what Victor Wembanyama is going to kind of be. He could be one of those quieter players, but an amazing post player, going to win a lot of championships in his career. Victor Wembanyama, I'm not saying he's going to be the greatest player of all time. That's not what I mean by saying he's the greatest prospect of all time. But what I mean is him being the greatest prospect of all time is the tanking that's going to be done for him. The tanking that's going to be done for Victor Wembanyama is insane. It's going to be some Mark Cuban 2017 Maverick stuff where Mark Cuban in 2017 with the Mavericks tanked so much to get Luka Doncic, it came out that it was actually true that he tanked and was signed $500,000. Victor Wembanyama, greatest prospect of all time. This is an area would be perfect for him. Low market, like Oklahoma City. Thunder going to be out Chet Holmgren the whole entire season. He's going to be out. So that leaves them with Josh Giddey, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Luguentz Dort. Make a trade the trade deadline. Ship Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to the Toronto Raptors. He's from Canada. Raptors already checked in on him. That works. Help your tanking. Maybe get rid of Lou Dort. Build around Josh Giddey. Build around Chet Holmgren. Build around Victor Wembanyama. Opening night, 2023-2024 NBA season, you would see a lineup of Josh Giddey, Victor Wembanyama, Chet Holmgren, other stars mixed included in there, Amari Bailey, whoever it might be. This is wild stuff right here. Oklahoma City Thunder, if that did happen, they would be the next San Antonio Spurs. They would be better than the San Antonio Spurs when they had their dynasty. That is a dynasty for years to come. Victor Wembanyama, greatest prospect of all time. You can seal it. I said it. Come draft time, Victor Wembanyama, mark my words, number one pick, greatest prospect of all time. That's about my pick, my spotlight this week on Victor Wembanyama. Now, what lead would I take? Carolina Panthers edition. They fired Matt Rule this week. They fired the defense coordinator this week. They fired Joe Brady in the offseason. Let's hop into it. Carolina Panthers, what lead would I take? I want to start out with talking about Matt Rule. Matt Rule is the worst head coach of the past 10 years in the NFL. Matt Rule, I apologize to you. Everything I'm about to say about you is not a direct shot at you. It's a direct shot at the Carolina Panthers for hiring you. And that's not a direct shot at you anyways either. Matt Rule does not deserve to be taken out of Baylor. He was doing his thing there. He took that program from 0 to hero. He took them from no wins to 11 wins in about 3 years. Matt Rule is a great college football coach at Baylor. He'll make his way back to college football. I'm not worried about him. The things that they got accomplished there was absolutely nothing. That's why I'm calling him the worst head coach of the past 10 years. You can say, oh, Steve Wilkes only lasted 1 year with the Arizona Cardinals. Hugh Jackson, he was a terrible head coach. He didn't do anything. At least they drafted well. Matt Rule didn't accomplish one single thing. Steve Wilkes wasn't really given an opportunity. Hugh Jackson had some good draft picks. At least Matt Rule was given an opportunity. He didn't do much for that opportunity, though. He had 3 years to get things done. He couldn't do a single thing done. Not one thing got accomplished. 2020 draft. Who did they take? They took Derek Brown. Derek Brown out of Auburn, who was this big prospect who everybody thought that could be good. Never take a defensive tackle in a first round of an NFL draft, especially not in the top 10. You can take a D-end. I don't know about a nose tackle, though. There were so many good players on the board. You could have taken Justin Jefferson. You could have taken a good quarterback. You could have taken Jalen Hurts. The other thing that they accomplished was everybody got so excited over the Matt Rule era always because they had Joe Brady, this flashy offense coordinator. He came from LSU. He mentored Joe Burrow. He's going to get us to the top. 2020 season, they didn't get much done with Joe Brady. 2021 season, they didn't get much done with Joe Brady. That's why they had to fire him, let him go. That draft, they really did not do anything in that draft. It's just painful right here. They really should have traded up to get that Dolphins pick. 49ers did it. If they had Trey Lance, if they had Mac Jones, if they had somebody else, this team would be different. If they had a Zach Wilson, that offense. But instead, they ended up with Sam Darnold. They thought he could revitalize his career with Christian McCaffrey. And they started the season 3-0 until Christian McCaffrey goes down. Then Sam Darnold goes down. They say, okay, let's get Baker. Baker Mayfield does nothing. He's hurt right now. Okay, let's take Matt Corral. Matt Corral's out for the season. Let's take a chance on the XFL MVP and PJ Walker. Doesn't do anything. Experiments were done on this team. Cam Newton, experiment done on this team. Nothing came out of it. Matt Rule, I apologize to you. Make it back to college football. It was a bad hire. Panthers owner, he's flashy. He's on a 7-year contract right now, Matt Rule. Over the next 48 months, so the next 4 years, Matt Rule's making $834,000 a month. That's a lot of money. That's about $50 million over the next 4 years. Ridiculousness. by Matt Rule and the Carolina Panthers. He'll make his way back to college football. I'm not worried about him. I'm worried about the Carolina Panthers. Take a gander. Hire a college football coach. I'm thinking maybe Steve Sarkisian, if he wants to leave Texas, go back to the NFL. He was a good offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons. In the Super Bowl. Good offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons. Jonathan Gannon, defensive coordinator for the Eagles right now. Shane Steichen, offensive coordinator for the Eagles right now. Eagles coordinator is going to be on the market this year. Ryan Day, take a gander on him. He's doing great stuff at Ohio State. Tough stuff right here with the Carolina Panthers. That's the lane I would take with the Carolina Panthers. That's my rant, the Carolina Panthers. Not on Matt Rule. I apologize to you, Matt Rule. You got done wrong by being brought to the NFL. NFL was not a game for you. Go back to college. NFL certainly was not a game for you. That's about not what lane would I take. Carolina Panthers edition. Now, around the bases, everybody, I already gave my New York Mets rant. I already gave my rant on all the other MLB teams. So now, I'm going to talk about the rest of the playoffs. My playoff predictions, let's hop into it. Yankees versus Guardians. This is a rematch of that 2017 ALDS, Aaron Judge's rookie season. Last time they were in the ALDS, and they faced the Houston Astros in the championship series. They lost the Astros. What a season that was for Aaron Judge. 55 home runs. Rookie season, played great. Actually, I think it was 53 home runs, but still. Good season for Aaron Judge. That was an awesome playoff series. Remember when Joe Girardi, they were down 7-3, the Cleveland Indians, going into that, because they were Cleveland Indians at the time, going into the bottom of the seventh inning. And I remember this vividly. I was watching it live. This is such an awesome moment I remember by Francisco Lindor. They're about to get out of the inning, New York Yankees, tied the series 1-1. 1-1 against the number one seed in the playoffs, Cleveland Indians, and they hit Lonnie Chisenhall. Apparently they hit Lonnie Chisenhall. It looked like a foul ball to me. It looked like a foul ball to everybody in the stands. Everybody on TV watching at home. It was a foul ball. Strike him out the next pitch, innings over. But no, Joe Girardi decides not to challenge it. Lonnie Chisenhall gets on base. Bases loaded. Next man up, Francisco Lindor, down 4 runs. Grand slam. One of the most clutch moments in MLB history. I remember that vividly. They went on to go up 2-0 in that series. Yes, New York Yankees still won that series, but that ended Joe Girardi's career with the New York Yankees pretty much. They lost the series that year. I think they get redemption, New York Yankees, from that game. They still won the series, but I think they get redemption on that. New York Yankees tanked down Cleveland Guardians, I think in 4 games in this one. Give me the New York Yankees taking down Cleveland Guardians. Astros versus Mariners. I think the Astros take down the Mariners. I know they're going to lose at game 1, but I still think they get to win the series. Justin Verlander pitched pretty terrible. I'm counting on Christian Javier in the bullpen to play well. I'm counting on these pitchers to play well. The Houston Astros is a great offensive lineup. We know they can hit. Give me the Astros over the Mariners in this series. Let's move to the NL. Braves versus Phillies. Phillies won game 1. Braves know how to beat them, though. Braves play your game. They win this one over the Philadelphia Phillies. Dodgers versus Padres. This is the series to watch. This is the series that goes to 5 games. I think the Dodgers win this one in 5 games, but it's going to be close, everybody. Manny Machado's hot. Juan Soto's hot. Everybody on this team is on fire right now after that New York Mets series. But like Freddie Freeman said, they've been hot right now. We've been hot for 7 months. He's right. Dodgers win the series over San Diego Padres. Now, Astros versus Yankees in the ALCS. My prediction. Yankees get redemption from that 2017 season. They lost in Game 7 that year. They win in Game 7 this year in Houston over Houston Astros. They get redemption. Yankees move on to the World Series. Yankees versus who? Who do they play? Dodgers? The Braves. Been the NLCS matchup for the past 2 years. Going to be for a 3rd year. I think the Dodgers will win it this time. Win the trilogy over the Atlanta Braves. Give me the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman's amazing. Tyler Anderson, their pitching, is amazing. Tony Gonsolin is amazing. Clayton Kershaw is amazing. Justin Turner is amazing. Mookie Betts is amazing. Cody Bellinger, if he's hot, he's amazing. This is an amazing team. A lot of MVPs in this roster. A lot of All-Stars in this roster. Dodgers, too much talent for the Braves in this one. Too much firepower for that pitching to handle of the Braves staff. Braves don't have the best bullpen. I think the Dodgers capitalize on that. Give me the Dodgers winning this one in 6 games over the Atlanta Braves. And the Dodgers are going on to play the New York Yankees in the World Series, but the Dodgers have home field advantage. Who comes out in this one? Is it going to be the Yankees? Or is it going to be the Dodgers? I'm riding the New York train, everybody. Give me the New York Yankees winning the World Series over the Los Angeles Dodgers. They won the championship this year. They were the best team in the MLB this year. People forget. There was a time at this point in the season the Yankees were sitting at 70-25. And people were saying, could this be the greatest team of all time? Yes, they struggled down the way a little bit. But I think this team is better than the Los Angeles Dodgers. They had the lead over them for most of the year until the Dodgers reclaimed it in August. Yankees are the best team in MLB, in my opinion. Yankees win the World Series over the Los Angeles Dodgers. Aaron Judge collects his World Series. Leaves the Yankees after this season, you could say. But gets a World Series. Yankees win the World Series. Hopefully Aaron Judge comes to my Mets. Hopefully. We'll have to wait and see. That's about for Around the Bases. That's about for my World Series prediction. Stay tuned. Still more to come. Schoolyard Sports Lane Frank, SM95. Now, when action-packed week college football we had last week, let's hop into week 7 college football showcase. Let's do it. You know how we do it. My top 25, then my hot takes, then my game of the week prediction. Let's hop into it. Top 25. Number 1, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Number 2, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Number 3, my Michigan Wolverines. Go Blue. Number 4, Georgia Bulldogs. Number 5, Clemson. Number 6, Tennessee. Number 7, USC. Number 8, Ole Miss. Number 9, Penn State. Number 10, UCLA. Number 11, North Carolina State. Number 12, Oregon. Number 13, Oklahoma State. Number 14, Kansas State. Number 15, TCU. Number 16, Mississippi State. Number 17, Wake Forest. Number 18, Syracuse. Number 19, Kansas. Go Jayhawks. Number 20, Texas. Great win against Oklahoma last week. 21, North Carolina. Number 22, Illinois. Number 23, James Madison. Number 24, Kentucky. Number 25, Go Gators. Let's break it down. Number 1, Ohio State. Best offense in the country. One of the best defenses in the country. Can't debate it. Right now, most complete team in the country is Ohio State. Number 2 is Alabama. They played a tough game against Texas A&M. I'm not faulting them for that. Texas A&M arguably has the best defense in the country. I'm not faulting them for that with a backup quarterback and a tough environment. I know it's at home, but still, tough environment against Texas A&M. Number 2, Alabama. Number 3, Michigan. You can say Georgia clobbered Michigan in the playoff last year. I know. I was there. I watched it live. It was a terrible game. But Michigan right now is more complete than Georgia. Georgia has the talent. They're not producing right now. I got Michigan at number 3. Great win against Indiana last week. Number 6, Tennessee. Great matchup against number 2, Alabama this week. Interesting to see right there. Number 9, Penn State. Playing my Michigan Wolverines this week. You're going to see my pick later on in the segment. Penn State versus Michigan this week. Penn State, number 9. Number 10, UCLA. I've been on the UCLA hype train all year. I picked them in my preseason top 25 poll. I put them in there. I put them in there every week of the season. Then I picked them to beat Washington. What'd they do? They beat Washington. I picked them to beat Utah. What'd they do? They beat Utah. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, UCLA, 6-0. They're rolling right now. Go Bruins in Pasadena. Number 13, Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, go Pokes, playing well. Cowboys playing well right now. Number 16, Mississippi State. Will Rogers and his team's playing well. I don't know how they lost to LSU in week 3 of the season. I don't know how they lost that game. Number 16, Mississippi State. Number 21, North Carolina. Drake May, 21 touchdowns. 3 interceptions on the season. 2 of them coming last week. Insane numbers from Drake May. Heisman numbers from Drake May. We're 21, North Carolina. 23, James Madison. The first time in the rankings ever. Their first year Division I. Congratulations, James Madison. You're in my rankings. 24, Kentucky. Number 25, Florida. Kentucky beat Florida. That's how it goes right here. That's my top 25. Now, the hot takes week coming up next. Stay tuned. Now, College Football Showcase, the games of the week, the hot takes. You know how we roll. 6 hot takes, game of the week, which this week is Alabama versus Tennessee. I'm going to pick that. Let's hop into it. Arkansas versus BYU. I think Arkansas crushes BYU on the road. If Malik Hornsby plays in this one, they still win. But I think KJ Jefferson gives it a go. KJ Jefferson, Arkansas. Razorbacks roll over BYU and Jaron Hall. They lost Notre Dame last week, BYU. Arkansas got clobbered by Mississippi State. They've been my hot takes 3 weeks straight. They finally get me a win. Arkansas crushes BYU on the road. Give me Arkansas winning on the road against BYU. Oklahoma State beats TCU. TCU's favored right now, but Max Duggan's getting Duggan. He hasn't played well in his college football career in tough moments like this. Played well last week against Kansas, but this week it's against Oklahoma State. I think Oklahoma State gets the win over TCU. I know Quentin Johnson's an amazing wide receiver for TCU, but Oklahoma State's for real right now. I know I said at the beginning of the season this team wasn't for real at all. I didn't even have them ranked until like 2 weeks ago. But now Oklahoma State, I'm finally buying into them. Oklahoma State gets a win over TCU. I apologize, Mike Gundy. I didn't take you guys for real. Oklahoma State beats TCU. Florida sends LSU packing to 4-3. Florida 4-2, LSU 4-2. I think Florida takes down LSU, sends them to 4-3. Tough stuff by LSU. They should have gone with Garrett Nussmeier at the beginning of the season. The Jaden Daniels hype has always been there, from his freshman season at Arizona State to now. But now, he hasn't played great at LSU. Tough game against Tennessee last week. I thought they'd win. They didn't. Florida beats LSU in this one. Florida wins this one over LSU in the swamp. Give me Florida. USC beats down on Utah. I said Utah's biggest problem was that they can't handle explosive quarterbacks. That's why I said they crushed Oregon State, and USC didn't, because USC couldn't handle Oregon State's run game that well, but Utah could. That's their game. Defending the run well, passing the ball well, but they can't defend running quarterback well. They did terrible against Anthony Richardson. They did terrible against Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I expect them to do terrible against Caleb Williams. USC dominates Utah on the road. Utah's favored right now. USC dominates them, sends them to 3 losses on the season. Give me USC rolling, sends Utah packing. USC dominates Utah on this one. Florida State gets the biggest upset of the day, and they take down number 4 ranked in AP poll right now, Clemson Tigers. It's a disgrace that they're ranked over my Michigan Wolverines. A disgrace. Florida State takes down Clemson. Jordan Travis back healthy. Johnny Wilson, amazing wide receiver. This is a good team. Florida State takes down Clemson, in my opinion. Give me Florida State. Knowles roll. Mike Norvell, signature win in his college football career at Florida State. He gets a great win against Clemson. They have 2 losses on the season, back-to-back. They keep it rolling, though. They win this one over Clemson. Clemson takes an L. First L of the season. I think that maybe kicks them out of the college football playoff conversation for a few weeks until they get things rolling again. Florida State takes on Clemson. Last I'll take right here. My Michigan Wolverines run all over Penn State, and we beat them. I think we beat them 31-10. Nick Singleton, good running back. They're not giving him enough carries at Penn State. Penn State could not handle Michigan's pass rush last year. James Franklin said, I think we're better equipped to handle their pass rush this season than we were last season. That's a lie. If you don't think Mike Morris, if you don't think Yabioki, if you don't think Brady McGregor, Jalen Harrell are going to be coming down your throat the whole entire game, Sean Clifford, think again. Michigan dominates Penn State in a maze out. They can wear the all maize, they can wear the all blue. Don't matter. Sick uniforms for Michigan. 6 team. The maze out, better than the white out. Hot take right there. Maze out is better than the Penn State white out. I went to the maze out, Michigan versus Washington last year. Amazing environment. Michigan crushed Washington in that game. It was awesome. The maze out, better than the white out. Proves it right here. Michigan in their maze out, beats Penn State. That's part of my hot takes. Now, my game of the week, Alabama versus Tennessee. It's in Knoxville. It's going to be a fun game. But I think Tennessee loses this one. I think they actually lose it pretty handily. It could be 38-10. I don't care if Jalen Milroe is the starting quarterback for Alabama, because I don't think Bryce Young's going to give it a go. I think it's going to be Jalen Milroe. And a lot of people are going to pick Tennessee if Jalen Milroe plays in this one. Let them. Jalen Milroe plays like Jalen Hurts. He can run the ball well. He can spin the rock when he needs to. Jalen Milroe played well enough against Arkansas to get them that win. He had that 77-yard touchdown. He played well enough against Texas A&M to get them that win. He didn't make enough penalties, make enough errors losing in that game. Yes, he made a few. Not enough to lose in that game. Jalen Milroe, I trust you. This Tennessee defense is not like the Texas A&M defense. This Tennessee defense let Anthony Richardson play all over them. This Tennessee defense let Keaton Slovis and Israel Abikonda of Pitt run all over them and throw all over them. Give me Alabama rolling over Tennessee. I'm sorry, Volunteers. I'm sorry, Hendon Hooker. You lose this one. Alabama, roll tide over Tennessee in this one. That's about College Football Showcase. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, best for last, QOD, question of the day. Last thing in the episode right here. Question of this week is, if Tennessee hypothetically takes down Alabama, I already picked Alabama like 10 seconds ago to beat Tennessee. But if Alabama loses to Tennessee hypothetically, is Tennessee the number 1 team in the country? They have all the wins. They're undefeated. They've going against a Pitt team. They're a great team. They have the best win in the country over number 2 Alabama. By far. Are they the number 1 team in the country? I don't know. Leave your answer in the comment section. If Tennessee beats Alabama this week, are they the number 1 team in the country? Leave your answer in the comment section. That's about our question this week. That's about for Schoolyard Sports and Lane Frick, episode number 95. Thank you for tuning in. Follow Schoolyard Sports on Instagram at Schoolyard Sports. Follow Schoolyard Sports on Twitter at Schoolyard Sport. Follow Schoolyard Sports on TikTok at Schoolyard Sports. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, review for the best sports content in the world. We'll be back here in the studio next week, episode number 96. Stay tuned.